Okay, boom. We should be live and direct on YouTube with Prashant Trivedi. PT, how are you?
I'm doing fine as always, same. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, same as always. And we're doing fine. Today I have many different topics again to explore with you. I would like to
Yes.
start today with the First, I'm very grateful to have you here. I just want to
Yes.
mention this. Matrix and Patrix, because I've heard a lot of stuff, especially like the Matrix. We all pretty much heard about what could be the Matrix, but now what's surfacing is also it could be a Patrix because we
Hmm.
live in a patriarchal system pretty much. So can you clarify this a little bit for us and what it involves also being
Right.
in a matrix?
Right. Right. The thing is, okay. So the thing is that the word matrix was used up till now because the concept of ma comes from the feminine. Ma is mother, right? Like, so it's a feminine thing. So, and then our earth, which we stay on, this plane, is feminine in itself. So when earlier they talked about breaking out of the matrix, they meant out of the cycle of birth and death on this earth plane. That's what it meant. Okay. Now, the current definition of matrix is different. It's the system we are talking about. Okay, the system which is on the earth.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. So that can be matrix, matrix, both. Okay. I mean, there are some matriarchal things in the system and there are patriarchal things in the systems. Okay, the system we have right now on a, and so that's matrix, matrix both. But the real definition of matrix was the earth plane itself, this
Okay.
world, like the earth plane itself. If you want to get out of that, like beings are taking physical bodies here as humans and then coming back here over and over and over again. Okay, so then you're trapped in this matrix. Okay, earth field. Okay, now breaking out of that was called breaking out of the matrix. Now, like people think that if you break out of the system, current system, which is there on earth, that is breaking out of the matrix. Okay, so that's the confusion. Okay, okay, so that's so in the system we have is also it's both like matrix both. Okay, we have in place, you know. So like
So
so
mo- so moving out the matrix, like a lot say, I want to move out the matrix and stuff,
yes,
is
yes,
really exiting this realm of
yeah,
existence, not so
yes.
much knowing the truth and facts of this world.
Yeah, I mean, it's good if you know the facts and truth because it's always good to face reality.
Yeah,
Okay, because if you don't face reality, you might not want to move out of here. Okay, for example, if somebody doesn't know that there are diseases or diseases can happen, okay, so then they will think, okay, human life is good. Like, why was the problem? Like, why not
yeah. Because we
come back?
can know
So,
a lot of
yeah,
stuff, like you can know a lot of truth and facts in this world,
yeah.
and then what?
Then that's when you have to use
And
it.
then
You
what?
have to use it. Then you have to use the truth and facts to make a decision
Exactly.
that I don't want to do this again. Okay, then you have to learn what do you have to do in order to not do this again. So, and then apply. So learn, apply after you have first faced the facts on this earth, which is both the earth plane, without the system. Earth plane has its own truths, without the system, and then the system which is on top to make your life even more difficult.
Yeah.
First, earth is difficult by itself. Okay, okay, it's difficult by itself. Then you have a system in place to make life even more difficult. So, but final good result of that is that then makes you have more of an impetus to break out of both. It gives you more of an, like chance or ignition to break out of it.
But
Both the
you're gonna walk a
yeah,
more authentic path, maybe.
required basically. You know, you will do whatever is needed in order to not be part of this system. the system on top, and to exit the Earth matrix system as well. Both things. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's already hard enough for my experience to unplug from the earthly nonsense that we are surrounded with, that
Yeah.
it's like a total other idea to exit the realm. For me, no, it's like far-fetched. It's in the
Yeah.
future. Yeah, that's what I aim for, but
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by all kinds of nonsense that I have problem unplugging from, like unplugging from
It,
this is a
yes. That's
noble
why,
goal
like,
also. Là.
yeah. So that's why, like, coming towards the Earth plane thing directly, dealing with the Earth things directly gives you more common sense, like grounding, or dealing with the Earth things directly, or anything life on Earth directly, like as a human being living on this plane. When you have a direct dealing of that sort, it helps you understand, and a lot of things which happen with your body and stuff like that, and on the earthly body, which the shell you take on Earth, this physical frame. So all of those things, you if you directly experience, then that gives you a chance to basically unplug. Like, it gives you a sense that whether I want this another body like this, do I want to go through the same experience again, do I want similar experiences or not. It's because Earth plane comes up with, even if there is no system like that, there can still be disease. They can you'll A thorn will still prick you, in nature. If you go to a thorn, and it'll still prick you whether there is a system in place or not. Okay. you know you go on the ground, if it's something is hard, your feet will get affected whether there's a system in place or not. Okay. On top. So even the direct dealings with the earth plane, and your lifespan, 100 years or whatever, you know earth plane has limited lifespan, all of these things. And then you have to, you know first grow old, then learn some things, and by the time you're learning some things, you're already on the way out. So you, you
Yeah.
know so these realities are there, whether the system is there or not. So that is the matrix.
Okay. For
Yeah.
many beings, it's like I said, it's very hard to unplug. Should we have different perspective about what it signify exactly to unplug, or should we like totally unplug from the internet, from the power in the wall? Like there's some beings that go to
But
such an
yes,
extreme
like, beings
that
should obviously unplug whenever they can't handle something. They should unplug from that. Okay. Whenever
when
you
it
finding that
doesn't nurture you.
nurture you, you find that you cannot that thing, handle this thing. It's beyond your current ability or capacity. Okay, or discipline or whatever. Then you have to get back to your discipline. So discipline is the most important thing. First, you have to get back to your discipline. And for discipline, what does discipline mean? Limitation, limiting yourself more and more, right? Creating limitations for yourself. And so beings have to always come down to limitations and limiting themselves. Because if you don't limit yourself, you'll be limited from outside. The external will limit you. You have two options. Either you limit yourself, or external forces will limit you.
Exactly. It's
Two
often what's
options. Yes.
happening. Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. My next topic is gurus. Guru.
Yes.
There's some fake guru out there. There's many charlatans, but there's also
Yeah.
real guru. And you explore that topic in your book also. You talk
Yeah.
about real guru, fake guru. I think you are one of the very, very real one. But
Yes.
because to my and from my perspective, it's because you also offers so much clarity, so much guidance, so much truth and fact that others don't even touch to, don't even want to explore, don't even want to talk about because
Yes.
they're afraid maybe to lose their audience or stuff like that. But
Yes. Yes.
also on YouTube, if you go on YouTube, you are not the one with the most bank of subscriber because you keep it
Yes. Yes.
very
Yes. Yes.
organic and legit and You don't
Yeah.
buy subscribers and stuff just to
No.
promote yourself and inflate
No.
your bubble and stuff.
Yeah. No. No.
So there is a lot of real stuff around you that I notice, and that tells me, from my perspective, that you
Yeah.
are very, very real, and the stuff that you
Yeah.
offer, the knowledge, and the like it sometimes it blows my mind the explanation that you have on, like, here today. I ask you a whole bunch of different stuff, man. We have explored so much topics, but you
Yes.
always come with something clear, something helpful, not
Yes.
something that to confuse us more and more. Like, it's very clear. So I give
Yes.
thanks for that very, very
Yes.
much, because yeah.
Ye- Yes, the word guru is a Sanskrit word. Actually, it's a Sanskrit
Okay.
word. Now, like now, people, the word guru actually meant that a being will raise you, another being which will help you raise yourself. Basically, that's
Exactly.
the the meaning of it. And nowadays, this title is given to a lot of people, like guru. You know, right now you can even have a car guru, like which tells you which car to buy. Right. So it's okay. So it is used in a very different context and format. The word. Okay. So but that's not the point of that word. The word was for evolving, like your spirit, like whatever being tells you how to raise yourself. Okay, that was guru. And obviously right now they can't be gurus because people don't know how to raise themselves even. So if you can't raise yourself, how will you tell others how to raise themselves? So that's the problem which we have in this world right now. Because and people are not authentic. I mean, if you're like using the talking about like they're interested in how many subscribers, how many views, and all these kind of things. I mean, that is never the point of the guru thing. Guru thing is about like, even if you are able to like raise one person being, that's enough. Like, I mean, like, because that means you know what it takes to raise oneself. Okay, and that's what's important. Like, that's the important bit. It's not the numbers, like, at all, mm, which
I
matter in life.
I think it's easy exactly to spot the fake one just by the stuff they offer, and their
Yeah,
narrative. Just by listening to their narrative, you can easily. But also there is a lot of confusion in people's minds. So how someone looking for a guru, for looking for truths and facts, and suddenly they realize they live in a world, they're very confused. Like, everything is the world of confusion here. Like
yeah.
Phil Collins
So
used
that's
to.
where I said in my book, like, they should always look at whether they have any connection with nature, or is nature responding to them or not. Because nature will always respond to what is actually real. Like, human beings can respond to fake things, right? Like advertisement, or gossip, or different kind of fake things human beings can respond to. Programming, all kinds of things. But nature will not. You can't program nature. You can't advertise nature. You can't do these kind of things. So nature will only respond to the real. So so one should always look for that in a being. If a being has reached a heightened state of awareness or consciousness or anything, the nature will always respond in a nice way, like in a way which promotes higher things, like rainbows, like heavenly skies, or different kind of more heavenly expressions of nature which are possible on earth. That will be the, let's say, calling card, or the that thing of the being who has actually reached a particular level of consciousness and realization. So, which they don't tell you anywhere else. That is the, it's not like some people are just speaking something, you know, and it doesn't make any sense, but people think that they're wise just because they're speaking a whole lot on something, but like, there's no connection to nature. Nature is not responding to them, nothing. Like, then obviously that's not where it's at. But again, our education system has taken that out from the very beginning, that nature means anything, anyways. So that's why the confusion comes, because once you connect to nature and stuff, you get more of a sense of what, higher is actually, in that way. So that is the right place to start. And after that, like, you can have other kind of things, like logic, like you have applied with me, and comparison, and all of those kind of things you can apply once you have that connection, and once you are doing some basic things like meditations, connecting with nature. All these things are required to increase your discernment so that you can tell what is what. That's the whole point.
Yeah, there is a lot of beings out there very confused, very because it's observable. You can see it, and often they will run to a psychiatrist or a brain doctor, psychiatrist, yeah, psychiatrist, or a psychologue en anglais. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yes, yes.
Anyway, the brain people, the one that works with your brain and stuff, and helps
Psychologist,
you find.
yeah.
An
Psychologist.
exit out of your misery or stuff, and
Yeah,
often you will run to those people. Is that, do you think, like someone like you can offer, I think someone like you personally can offer more clarity and more something to cure illness, like if you go to a psychiatrist, I think
yeah,
you
yeah,
would have more effect on a being than a psychiatrist. Am I
yeah. Because
wrong by saying
the
that?
yeah, the funny thing about TruMon, about psychiatrists and stuff, is that they are the ones who are
Social
mostly
workers and stuff,
yeah,
right?
because they are the people who are mostly more psychologically, you know, uh, they have problems. Like psychologists have more psychological problems even than the beings they're dealing with. So, so that's the funny.
Yeah, that's
So
it. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they're even more confused than you. So
yeah, then the person who goes there, like they have more psychological issues, like what they call issues, right? Then, so the
yeah,
point is like the problem with people is that like they also want to go to someone who is not going to tell them to do something. Okay, who listen to them but not tell them to do something. Because finally, if you have a problem or issue, you will have to do something. You will have to take some practical steps, and that practical steps you will have to take, not the other person. You will have to do them. So people think that someone else should solve the issue for them, like they will should say something or some talk should happen through that their issue is solved you know but it's not going to happen like that. Finally, even if the talk happens, after that you will have to work on yourself. You will have to do the meditation, you have to do centering, you have to do grounding, you will have to do these things yourself. And that's what people are running away from. Okay, and that's why people are given these false hopes in terms of all these charlatans. So the whole psychological field and stuff, like this joke is given to them so that they feel like something can happen just by not doing anything. It's the same as the pills. You go to the doctor and gives you a pill, and you think now problem is solved. You don't have to do anything yourself. You don't have to go on a specific diet. You don't have to change your lifestyle. You don't have to do anything. The pill is the solution. Okay, so when you have this mentality, which is the problem in itself, you know so obviously no psychologist or doctor will tell you that's the problem, because their jobs depend on this foolishness in you in the first place.
yeah,
So
exactly.
why are they going to tell you that that's the you know yeah,
Because I always found more
yeah,
grounding and real, real feeling with life
yeah,
by knowing the stuff that we talk about
yeah.
than going to see a psychiatrist. I'm sure I would probably end up lecturing him on something anyway with my big mouth.
Yeah, but the
So
point is that I mean those people are not any examples of like good living or correct living, or and things like that. So like how can
and
you teach someone else the correct living when you're yourself not doing it? And they're not interested in doing that. They're just interested in their hourly fees. Okay, I listen to you for 1 hour or 2 hours and you pay me this much. Okay. So
and a big thing that we lack is motivation. Would you say that a great guru should be or should learn to become a great motivational speaker,
I
or
mean, I don't think so.
motivation, it's
Because
intrinsic motivation we're looking
if
for?
motivation comes from outside, you will never be able to do anything. Motivation
Okay,
has to come from inside,
so it's
and
intrinsic motivation.
motivation has to come from your own inside, because otherwise you won't be able to sustain it. How long can external motivation sustain? Okay, the moment you listen to the motivational speaker for that long, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, After that, what? You know, so the point is finally it'll come down to you only and your own understanding. For that, you will have to face reality. You yourself has to have to face reality and then make a decision that I am going to do this after facing the other thing. And it's your decision and your willpower and your own self motivation which will make you do the things, because nobody will be there with you, you know, like waiting with a stick, you know, like every 5 minutes or every 24 hours of your day to make you do the correct thing, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. So self motivation was the main thing, and self motivation comes from seeing things correctly. So guru can teach you like look at things like this. Now when you look at things like that, you automatically get motivation if you keep on having that perspective, you know. But whose job it is to have that kind of perspective and keep on looking at things like that? Who will do that? You will do that, you know. It's not, you know.
Anyway,
So
we shouldn't need much motivation. We're all champion from start. Look, I've survived millions of sperm me to make it to the egg, so I'm a champion. So
yeah,
just
yeah,
that should motivate us all. We have survived a huge race at the beginning, and we
yeah,
are the winners. So
yeah.
just
And it's
life
not even
should,
that.
like, I don't
And
know why some.
motivation comes from the fact on earth that out here things always are going wrong, and there's no bigger motivator than that. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So people have to. Only time you're not motivated is when you don't face reality. Actually, the more you face reality, more motivated you are. Simple as that.
Exactly, exactly, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because that's a big hype in the recent years. No? Motivational speakers. No? I can name you some name, but we know them all.
Yeah. Yes.
They're on
But that's
social media. We don't need to name them, but
that's
that's a huge thing right
yeah,
now.
yeah, because
Motivational videos and stuff.
yeah, because they what are they motivating people for? They're motivating people for doing things which will finally devolve them
Yeah,
if they do those things, because you can go in that path, because with human actions both things are possible, evolution and devolution. Okay, so obviously, so a lot of people lose motivation for doing things which will devolve themselves. Now then you are motivational speakers to make try to make you do things which will finally devolve you. So that's nothing good for them or you. It's bad karma for them, it's bad karma for you. Like, so there's nothing good happening from any of it. You know, it is. And motivation is like, okay, if there is some nice sky or sunset or that thing, heavenly thing, or a rainbow or something, and you look at that, that should be motivational too. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but then you don't need a motivational speaker for that. Like, you see a rainbow and then you're, you know, you don't need a. So either way, people have to start facing the facts, the heavenly facts and the not so good facts, you know, and both things should be motivating. In fact, everything should be motivating for evolution, for yourself, because you know, if you don't, you'll have confusion, you'll have misery, you'll have sorrow, you'll have pain, you have so many negative things that all of those are also motivations to
yeah.
not have those. So everything is a motivation in that way. So
Anyway, just having life should motivate us.
yeah,
My next topic is something also we see trending a lot is influencers, but also they tend to promote the influencers that are transgender or I don't know how to really name them. Like
yeah.
they're boys, but they're acting like girls, like
Oh yes,
transgender
what yeah,
anyway,
like gender confusion. Yes,
gender confusion and stuff, and
yes,
they put makeup and get their lips blown up and all that stuff.
yes. The thing
So,
is,
and they, like, it's a good thing, like they have a luxurious lifestyle. Like, we see so much of that nonsense now.
yeah, the thing is, influencer word comes from influence. Okay, now influence, you can influence people, but again, the question comes in what direction
Yeah,
you are influencing for sure. Like, there is some influence happening, and some people are paying a lot of money to those people to influence other people. Okay, but for what purpose? Is it for your evolution? No, it's for your devolution. Okay, so if gender confusion is another time based on Earth, okay, which are millions of time wastes are promoted on earth by influences. Okay, and that is just one of them, gender confusion. So, but I'm just saying, like, overall, the whole point is to waste your time on earth so that your precious human life, what you have a chance, goes to waste in nonsensical activities which are
Yeah.
evoluting for you. That's the whole point. As a whole, overall point is that. Okay. So, like then comes positive influencing. Okay, whenever people are doing positive things, okay, people start organic farming, or people start doing anything, they start wearing natural fabrics, they start saying no to so many other things and things like that. Then you see less people are influenced by those things. So whenever people are trying to do anything positive, you know, like the way the atmosphere is such that they don't get the support of people and support of those the system.
Yeah.
The system is obviously supporting those who are spreading negativity, which will
Nonsense.
bring you down and which will bring your spirit down. Okay, so that's what the system is supporting. So it's up to the people finally, because some people are obviously trying to do positive things on earth. There are a lot of people who are trying to set up a more better example and take steps which are better. But again, are those people getting the same amount of support or views or any of these things, or no? So
No.
but then that's a option, like that's why it comes down to choice. What do people choose at the end of the day? And as per
Exactly.
their choice will be their future. That's it's as simple as that. So, and for influencers also, like those who are doing negative influencing, their future existence will get affected by that. That karma, they are doing the karma which they're doing right now. Like, that will,
If if we say ignorance as a cause, what would be the opposite? Knowledge, GNO as
yeah,
what
yeah,
would you say, PT?
yeah,
If
illumination.
ignorance as a
Ignorance,
cause.
ignorance, darkness, knowledge, illumination. Like,
Good. That's it.
simple.
Got it. So my next topic, we're gonna finish with this, and it's something that started maybe 15, 20 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but it's those blue bin that I put in front of my home for the garbage truck to pick up, but it's recycling, like the
Yeah,
hype of recycling. When also you go into the supermarket and everything is packaged in plastic, but they forbid you from having plastic bags to put your plastic stuff in the plastic bag, like total nonsense.
yeah,
But the whole recycling thing, because we know for a fact that most of the recycling end up in landfills. So
yeah.
is it again to just to mesmerize us, thinking that we have an impact on the environment, that we're saving the environment by doing our
Mhm.
recycling? Like, what is the whole?
Mhm. Yeah, so yes, obviously. For example, like, I mean, the old concept of recycling was that if you using something for one thing, and if it goes bad for that thing, you can use it for some other thing, and basically practically make use of some object, even after it doesn't serve the purpose it was fulfilling before, it was serving before. So that was the old thought of recycling. That was the original. Nowadays, it means something else. But the funny thing about these people is that they don't understand that Earth by itself can recycle everything. Everything what humans have done on Earth, every amount of plastic or anything like that. Once it goes into the like magma, like that hot thing which comes out of volcanoes, like, that can make everything like nothing existed ever.
Exactly. That's
So,
true. So true,
so
PT.
with water, with this thing, with heat, with pressure, with temperature, everything on Earth can be recycled, anyways. So,
Even your
uh,
plastic that you
yep,
think,
but
oh,
everything, your cities, everything you have created,
yeah,
humans, so everything can get recycled very easily. But that is always going to happen, anyways. There is no that thing. So like for people to understand, the whole point of recycling actually is where you try to make sure that you practically use everything in the best possible way and use it and reuse it in different ways. so that you don't have to make new things up all the time, so that you don't waste your time. Okay, do you understand? Creating new things every time, you know. Oh, this is of no use, throw it, when that can do something else in your house or something, you know. And then you go buy something new instead of that, you know. So that is a way of being which obviously doesn't show that you utilize things properly, you know. And that's one of the lessons on earth when you come to earth plane, is to know how to use physical things properly, including your own body. Right? So
And
yeah, yeah,
and also, some beings are very creative when it comes to recuperating their trash. Like I see some stuff on YouTube everywhere. Like
yeah,
some
yeah. But you
countries
don't have
that
to get that creative also, because then you'll waste time as well. Again, it has to be all within a sense of reasonability and commonsensicalness. And if you spend that much more time on recycling than you can do on making something new, then again you are wasting your time. Point is to be practical on earth,
practical. That's it.
like as practical as you can be. That's the whole point on earth. That's one of the lessons on the earth plane. It's like, if you see this as a game, then that is one of the things which is expected out of a human being, that you got to be practical. Okay. So so that's the point. So recycle, everything will be recycled anyways. I mean, you are being recycled every time, like you're taking a new body and then your spirit comes out, and then you take another body. This body is going to be go into earth right now, and we, you know, it'll go back into the elements: earth, fire, water, air. What will be, they will, this body will be gone, right? Like, it'll be recycled back into the elements. So
Wow,
recycling is happening all the time, like,
all the time.
yes,
And it's good what you said about the volcano. Nothing will resist the pressure of a volcano and the
yeah,
magma and the stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah,
So,
yes,
large up, PT, that's it for today. And
yes,
we'll be back here next Thursday if
right,
your
yeah,
schedule
yeah,
allows us to be here.
yeah,
And until then, that's it. Take care, and I'll see
yeah.
you soon.